Some things have been said by Rachel Lamb, most recently on a podcast. And so before I get to what she said, I want to confirm with you that you had been given so much respect from Marcus Lamb. He, in the midst of seeing what we're now seeing is a very dysfunctional family.
Denise Boggs has just unveiled one of the most startling revelations to emerge from the Daystar scandal. In a powerful statement, she exposed Rachel Lamb's false claims about her husband Pete's supposed exoneration. Denise alleges that she was pressured and even manipulated to clear Pete of serious accusations. However, she stood firm and refused to compromise the truth. Today, we're unpacking the lies, the manipulation, and Denise Boggs' courageous stand for integrity. The Daystar Television Network, a major player in Christian broadcasting, has been shaken by accusations of deception, cover-ups, and power plays. At the center of this controversy is Rachel Lamb, accused of twisting the facts to shield Pete. Denise Boggs, a well-respected family counselor, has now come forward with explosive disclosures that could reshape the entire narrative. This isn't just a family conflict, it's a complex web of deceit that challenges the very credibility of Daystar. Let's delve into Denise's pivotal role in this unfolding saga and how she has emerged as a steadfast voice of truth amidst the turmoil.
Some things have been said by Rachel Lamb, most recently on a podcast. And so before I get to what she said, I want to confirm with you that you had been given so much respect from Marcus Lamb. He, in the midst of seeing what we're now seeing is a very dysfunctional family. It appears that in letters that you were copied to even, he spoke of this dysfunction in the family, jealousies between the siblings. He was quite concerned about it. He felt that even years before there was the situation with Pete at the beach house and the concerns about the SA, it did seem that the kids were a problem and he wanted help for them. And would you say, and tell me in your own words, how Mr. Marcus Lamb wanted healing for his family and enlisted your...
Denise Boggs recalls being brought in by Marcus Lamb to help address the deep-seated dysfunction within his family. Marcus entrusted her with the task of uncovering the root causes of the tension and rivalry among his children. Through her work with the Lamb family, Denise uncovered long-standing conflicts, including Rachel's relentless ambition to take the helm of Daystar. According to Denise, this drive to lead the network, no matter the cost, was a significant factor behind much of the dysfunction that continues to surface today.
Yes, his heart was truly for his family to be healed. He knew that there was a lot of tension, a lot of jealousy, competition, all of that going on. And so when he asked me to come, he said that he wanted me to meet with each one individually and just to hear their heart. If what are they holding on to? Why is all of this jealousy here? And so I did. I worked with each one individually.
Rachel Lamb has made a bold assertion, one that stands at the core of her defense of Pete. She claims that Pete was completely exonerated after just one session with Debbie Lenhart, a licensed professional counselor. It sounds definitive, doesn't it? But according to Denise Boggs, the reality is far from what Rachel portrays. Denise offers a starkly different account, one that challenges this so-called exoneration and sheds light on what really happened. Let's hear it straight from her.
Okay, so validation. Pete is exonerated. On August 2021, Pete and his wife met with Debbie Lenhart, LFC, a forensic child psychologist, to continue their thorough professional response to the allegations, seeking clarification to ensure the process adhered to professional guidelines. Pete's wife asked Debbie Boggs if, can you go to the next page, please? And I'm not sure exactly what she asked asked there because I can't see it on this, so I'm going to try to pull that up in just a moment because I have the original. So in the meeting, Debbie said none of this would hold up in a court of law. And I'm assuming that she would say this incident by itself with what's happened would need further examination. Now, because Rachel's put this out there, could you confirm if you remember that being said?
No.
You don't remember that being said?
No.
Very interesting. Thank you. You don't remember that being said. And it was her conclusion that this was nothing more than a big family mess. Now, Rachel goes on to say that, so nothing more than a big family mess fueled by years of jealousy, competition, lack of relationship. And that seems to me, Miss Denise, that goes to our former conversation, that there was these jealousies that were in the family, and that Miss Debbie was acknowledging that there's a long history of jealousy, competition, and relationship trouble. Okay.
Yes.
After hours of meeting, so this seems like this was a long meeting. Denise walked Debbie to her car where they had a conversation. Can you remember doing that?
Oh, yes, I remember clearly. Yes.
Okay, very good. So we're all good so far. Some things that are not really, in your memory of what was said, but you did walk her to her car. When Denise walked in, and I think she's saying that after you returned from the conversation with Debbie, when Denise walked in, she let Pete and his wife know she had exonerated Pete. Did you say those words?
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
Think about that for a moment. Rachel's entire narrative rests on an exoneration that never actually occurred. The truth? Pete sidestepped direct questions and failed to commit to any follow-up sessions. This isn't a case of innocence, it's a clear pattern of avoidance. And now, for one of the most shocking revelations. During Pete's assessment with Debbie Lenhart, a licensed professional counselor, something highly unusual unfolded. Rather than answering questions directly, Pete evaded them entirely. Even more startling, Rachel frequently interjected, answering for him.
No.
I mean,
no, it was
how would one exonerate something so serious in one session?
Yes. No, and see, the problem was that it was a long session because Debbie would ask questions and then Rachel would answer them. And so Debbie kept trying to have questions that Pete would engage in, but that didn't happen. And so that was the conversation when we went to the car. She said, I wasn't even able to do a thorough assessment. She said, because he didn't really answer one question himself. She answered them all. So she said, I can't do anything.
Think about that for a moment. This wasn't just Pete staying silent. It was Rachel actively stepping in to shield him. That raises a critical question. Why would Pete avoid direct questions if he had nothing to hide? And why would Rachel feel compelled to answer for him unless she was trying to control the narrative? This is where the deception truly escalates. Not only did Pete and Rachel avoid taking the necessary steps to clear his name, but they also falsely claimed he had been exonerated after a single session with Debbie Lenhart. This wasn't a simple misunderstanding, it was a calculated effort to spread misinformation within the family, further muddying the waters of truth.
Very good. And we'll go back to her, Rachel's analysis of these events. So when Denise walked in, she let Pete and his wife know that they were exonerated, and you absolutely say that word was not used, and you did not do that. So Pete and his wife were glad to hear it. She couldn't wait to put all of this behind them. Pete's wife immediately texted Marcus, saying the child, which he responded, fantastic. I think that text is, and we'll try to get these better texts, I think, put up here, which he responded, fantastic. Pete's wife replied saying she's got a ton of degrees, lots of experience. Marcus responded, excellent. I know that is such a relief for both of you to have that kind of validation. To which Pete's wife replies saying, so now we have done literally everything everyone has asked. It's a relief. But we were both confident in the outcome because there is nothing to hide. Then Marcus replied saying, I agree. Just don't contact the other four about it, as of course Denise needs to be your defender. References about it on social media. Marcus knew in order for the family to accept these findings, they could only be communicated by Denise and not anyone else. And so you wouldn't know what Marcus said, but it is fair for you to speak to the fact that you were a very trusted member of the Lamb family who loved them, and Marcus trusted you.
This text message didn't just mislead Marcus. It set the stage for a false narrative that Rachel and Pete would later use to publicly defend Pete's actions. B. Why fabricating claims of exoneration? Pete and Rachel not only undermined the integrity of the counseling process, but also manipulated the family's understanding of what truly transpired. One of the most shocking moments came when Rachel Lamb falsely asserted that Pete had been cleared after his session with Debbie Lenhart, a claim made without Denise's knowledge that the message had even been sent.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Of course, we know the wife was very upset, and that's why she was anxious and answering questions in the session. But I had no idea that by me trying to kind of calm them down a little bit and tell them what's to come, that she was, I guess, thinking, oh, everything's okay. And then she goes and texts Marcus. I had no idea she'd text Marcus. I had no idea that she had text. And even when they were ready to leave, I stood there with both of them and I said, now, you know, nothing was settled here. Nothing. So I even said it again. So I had no idea that the text had been sent, actually, until I read this.
Right. You didn't know about any of that.
Yeah, I didn't know. And so, so here's where the cover-up is. Do you see that?
Let's not forget that Debbie Lenhart herself admitted she couldn't complete a proper assessment because Pete evaded her questions. So, how could he possibly have been cleared? The reality is, he wasn't. This was nothing more than a fabricated cover-up to sweep unresolved allegations under the rug. Defending yourself is one thing. Lying about the outcome of a process meant to reveal the truth, that's something else entirely. This not only hurt the Lamb family, but also cast doubt on the integrity of everyone involved. What do you think? Was this a desperate attempt to dodge accountability? Or something even more calculated? This is just the beginning. Today, we exposed how Rachel Lamb wove a web of deception to defend Pete, falsely claiming he was exonerated and twisting the facts about what really happened in that session. But trust me, there's much more to uncover. In our next video, we'll dive deeper into the lies, manipulations, and shocking patterns Rachel Lamb has worked hard to keep hidden. The truth is coming out piece by piece, and you won't want to miss it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button for more.